Oh, hey, what's up, you guys? How's it going? It's Papa, and today I'm going to be showing you guys my pure Zoodiac deck profile that I took to my locals. Didn't do too hot. I went 2-2 with it. First time playing the deck, I just wanted to go ahead and give it a try. I haven't really played any of the Zoo cards since Zoodiac format about like 5-6 years ago, something like that. It's been a while now. Something like that. But yeah, I haven't really touched these cards ever since that one format, and the deck was a lot of fun. I mean, the main goal here is to just summon Zeus and basically just watch your opponent squirm. It is a blind go second deck, so it does play a lot of going second cards. But without further ado, we'll go ahead and get into the profile. Starting off with the main deck, you just play a bunch of names. 3 copies of Thoroughblade. This card's insane. Being able to pitch a Zoodiac to draw a card is really good. 3 copies of Whiptail. This card's also really good, just being able to banish opponent's monsters when it's equipped. Super good. 1200 attack. It actually comes up. That was like one of the main things I kind of ran into while playing the deck today, was just trying to beat over cards. So Whiptail definitely helped. 3 copies of Ram. This card's also really good, but I never really got to resolve it too much. I didn't really play against any trap decks, so his second effect didn't really become too useful. And then this should have been a Bunny Blast or a Cataroost, but I didn't have one of those, so I just played a Rap here. I just wanted to make sure I just had another name in the deck, but I wanted to play 10 Zoos, and we got to the 10 Zoos, so that was good. I was able to, I don't think there was one hand during the whole tournament that I played where I didn't open up at least one Zoo monster. I found myself opening up Thoroughblade Whiptail a lot, which was just nuts, so that was really good. For hand traps, there's a lot. So we played 3 Droll in the main deck, 3 copies of Ash, 3 copies of Nib, and then 3 copies of Impermanence. This was fine. I don't think it was too crazy or anything, Ash being the best one, but Nib was actually really good today too. I got to Nib a couple times, so that was nice. Probably should play Crow. I think Crow would have been really good to play. I just didn't find the need to play it in the main deck, and arguably I should. I definitely should have, but these cards were fine. I think I only resolved Droll twice during the whole tournament, so it is what it is. For the spells, we played 1 Terraforming because we are main decking 3 copies of Mystic Mine. This package is just unhealthy, very unhealthy for the game, but since we are blind seconding, I just opted to go Mystic Mine because when you have this on board and then they have just a field full of monsters, you just activate, do your Zoo, plays in peace, and then you just make a Zeus, send everything to the grave, and then just hope for the best. But I don't know, it was all right. There was a couple instances where I opened up 2 copies of it, so I don't know if just playing 3 of it would be fine in the future, but more testing will do so. 2 copies of Super Poly. This was a nice little tech I decided to throw in. I actually use this in almost every match I played. This card's really good. I don't really think 3 is needed though, because you don't use this as your main win condition, so I thought 2 is okay. 2 Tanky and 2 Desires for consistency. So this actually really helped out a lot. Getting the second copies of each of these was really good for the deck, and it definitely came up a lot. I think I only drew Tanky maybe a couple times, but Desires I saw almost every match, and this card was just always insane. Definitely got to where I needed it to be. And then just a bunch of other Go second defensive cards. Sorry, budget players, this deck is not for you. 3 copies of Droplet, 3 copies of Lightning Storm. So I just wanted board breakers, I wanted blowout cards, and these definitely did that. These bait negates, and they just got the job done. Droplet was really insane. Lightning Storm I drew maybe 4 times. I drew it more than I probably should have, but it was really good. I think going forward I would like to fit Cyclone in here maybe, but these cards really busted. And then 1 Called By, and then 1 Change of Heart. I drew Change of Heart but didn't use it. I didn't really need it in the instance that I did have it, but I don't think I would change it. I think it was cool. I was at 39 cards anyway with the Called By, so I could have played Upstart, but instead I just went for Change of Heart, and it did the damn thing. So even 40, no more, no less. Again, I think I would just like to find room for DD Crow in the main deck, but other than that, we'll get into the extra deck. Me and my daughter. Okay. 3 copies of Borbo. It's basically super self-explanatory. 3 copies of Borbo, 3 copies of Mortar, 3 Chalk and 9. This shouldn't really have to be explained too much. Chaka 9 summons one from the grave, Mortar attaches one, and then Borbo just attacks directly. All these effects are really busted. I didn't play Hammer Kong. I didn't think I needed it. I mean, granted, if you're not going to play Super Poly, you can play Hammer Kong if you want to, but I just never saw the need for it. So that's the zoos. One Desperado. I really wish I played two of these. The second one definitely did come up, but it's a really good card. It's a really, really cracked card. Being able to just summon back one of your zoos, so that way you can just set up for the turn after, make another zoos. No more to say there. I do wish I could fit a second one though. And then the Dank Daddy, 3 copies of Zeus. So this is a really busted card, and it's definitely a really good one. I mean, I did enjoy playing this card a lot. This is one of my favorite cards that I just never get to play because I don't really play like a whole lot of like Xyz decks. Like I've been on Sword Soul, I've been on Eldritch, I've been on ABC. So like I've just been playing a bunch of random decks that don't really access like Zeus. So I just opted to play one that mainly focused on Zeus because this card's really good. Shouldn't really have to explain too much here. Sends everything. You could have up to 2 sends off of it. Really busted. You make one almost every turn. And then you basically just kill your opponent from there. And then I played 2 fusions, was the Mud Dragon and the Draco Stapelia. This one I actually made a lot. Stapelia I didn't make once. I didn't play against any Despia, so I can't really say how good Super Poly really was because I didn't play it against the matchup that it was intended for. But I think going forward, like the Draco Stapelia should still be here. This card should be here for like Rogue or just anything that's not Despia. But I would really like to make room for a Starving Venom, but I just don't see the space for it. So 15 card extra deck. Moving on to the side deck real quick. Again, this was just a rough draft. I've never played any of these like cards before, so I didn't really know what comboed well with it. So I played 3 Kaijus. I played 2 Gamma Steel and 1 Godarla. I wanted the Godarla there just for the barrier statue if I played against Flunder, but I didn't play against any Flunder, so these could have just all been Gamma Steel, but I definitely wanted to respect Flunder anyway, even though it's the buy. 3 of those. And then 3 copies of Cyclone. This card's really good, so I couldn't really fit it in for the main deck, so I just opted to play it in the side. This is mainly to get rid of Mystic Mine. Mystic Mine is still a problem, and I just wanted to make sure I had at least some kind of out to it. 3 copies of Evenly Matched. This could arguably be something else. You don't really need it because you kind of need your battle phase to make the Zeus. So I just opted this to just like have that guaranteed shutout against like more rogue decks. Basically being like Eldritch, Striker, depends on the matchup. And then 3D Barrier, again for Despia, for Sword Soul, because this just blows them out. And especially if they make me go first, I just side these in. And as well as going first, I side in 3 Judgment. But I never sided these in. I think I sided in D-Barrier once, but the Judgments I didn't really side in at all because I went second every time. So I just never saw a need for me to side any of these in. But other than that, that's going to go ahead and do it. I really did enjoy the deck. I really think it's a fun way to play Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, like, I've always been a fan of going second strategies, and, like, this deck is, like, control, but also stun your opponent, but I definitely did enjoy the idea of it. The deck was really fun to play. Definitely caught a lot of people off guard because they just didn't expect me to be playing this kind of deck, and honestly, I didn't expect myself to be playing a deck like this either. But I really just got to basically show up my staples, like, play a fun deck, something that I just never really play. I have a whole binder full of deck cores that I just never use, so I just opted to just play something else, and this was it. So other than that, thank you so much for watching the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and until next time, guys, this has been Papa, and I will catch you all in my next video. Take care, everyone.